No, I'm here just giving instructions to the official program observer. What's that? Oh, you've had... Oh. All right, I'll do it. Greetings, my friends, and welcome back. Rush Limbaugh, the EIB Network, and the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies, 800-282-2882 if you want to be on the program. Snerdley tells me that a flippant comment of mine was overheard by the audience, and he has heard from, how many people would you say? Several callers have demanded I explain myself. He says a few callers have expressed disbelief and outrage that I said the Pope would approve the study on the first-time sexual pleasures of adolescent African-American men. Now, none of them wanted to hang on and talk to me about it, but they told Mr. Snerdley that they demanded to hear my explanation. I was making a joke, and actually, I'm glad you people called to complain. Because this is one of those glaring examples where I assume that everybody listens to every word I say every day and therefore listens to every program in context. And I need to be reminded that there are 5 or 10 of you that do not listen to every show every day and every word. And those 5 or 10 have called. This Pope is an amazing figure. One day he's one thing and the next day he's another. One day, the liberals who despise the Catholic Church, and I'm talking about the political extreme liberals, you all know who I mean, they hate the Catholic Church, they despise any religion, but they focus their hatred on the Pope because he's one man on whom it can be focused. And yet, the Pope will do something on a particular day that they will say, hey, maybe we can like this guy. The first example was when the Pope appeared to criticize capitalism. The Pope, when he was, early on in his papacy, a statement was attributed to him, the verbatim I do not have in front of me. But even I said the Pope here is promoting Marxism. And the Vatican, no less than the Vatican, issued a clarification in a couple of days, claiming the Pope was not supporting Marxism. But it sure sounded like it based on his criticism of capitalism and what he thought the nations of the world ought to do in dealing with poverty. It sounded like the Pope was blaming capitalism for poverty and so forth. So on that day, the American left, which is normally predisposed to hating any Pope and hating the Catholic Church, all of a sudden embraced him. Then the next day, when he came out and denied it, then they started hating on him again. And there were a couple of other instances like this. I forget the specifics. But something would happen in the world, and the Pope would offer support or opposition to it. And in many cases, it was right out of the liberal doctrine that the Pope was right in there agreeing with it, and they would embrace him. Then the next day, the Pope would say something that did not appear to be liberal at all, and they would go back to hating him. Now, the most recent example is this bogus climate change thing. The Pope has the liberals love him again. The Pope has come out and said that he wants a worldwide effort to combat climate change. And so I'm just under the impression that everybody knows that the Pope from day to day appears to be different people on political issues. So I flippantly said the Pope will probably support this as a throwaway line, not really meaning that the Pope would support it. It was just a comment on how the left goes back and forth, despising and then liking and having hope in and then drifting back to hating the Pope and so forth. So I apologize if any of you were offended by this. It was simply an error made with my assuming that everybody listens every day to every word and therefore is listening to the program in context. In other words, there are times I don't think I have to explain the joke, that I think everybody gets it. There. I hope that clears up the situation. We do have some calls waiting on this to come up, though, and we will get to those in due course.